Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well today. With the end of another month comes another candle and fragrance empties video. So this is what I have burned and melted fragrance wise in January 2017. I feel like the month went by really fast, and then when I started pulling out all of the empties and things that I have burned, I was actually a little shocked because it feels like it's more than I usually go through. But that's okay because I'll just have more to show you. I want to apologize for the lack of content the last week and a half. The last video I posted was my individual candle review of Honey and Tangerine. And I actually had filmed my favorite 16 candles, fragrances of 2016. I had filmed the video, I had it almost completely edited and ready to upload, and my computer crashed. Needless to say, I was not a happy camper, so I tried to restore it, I tried to refresh it, I tried to do everything I could, and unfortunately, there was just no hope for it. So I had to go out and purchase a new laptop, which was an upgrade laptop. So that's the good news. The bad news is that I lost all of that footage and I wasn't able to retrieve it. So I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to film that video at this point. It just feels a little late. I feel like it was already going to be a late video, and now it feels even later. And I'm a little frustrated by the whole experience and have to bring all those candles back out because of course I had already put them all back up. Anyway, long story short, if you have any interest in seeing my top 16 of 2016, please leave your comments below, because if no one's interested, I don't want to go through the effort, to be honest with you. But if people want to see those and kind of see what my favorite candles were of 2016, I will make that effort and pull out the candles and refilm that video. But for today's video, I'm going to show you what I burned and melted and used fragrance-wise January 2017. I also, of course, always have a random hand soap because I just don't have enough to film an entire different sort of beauty video, so I always just throw that in here. So as I've done on my other empties videos, what I'm going to do is show you the candle, give you a quick mini review of the performance, the throw, the scent, etc. Because I do have so much here, this video probably will be a little bit longer. So grab a snack and grab something to drink and snuggle in. Alright, let's get started. Alright, the first thing I'll show you is the Bath & Body Works hand soap that I used up this month. This is Winter Citrus Wreath, the gentle foaming hand soap. The notes are beautiful balsam wreath accented with fresh citrus. This was really an enjoyable scent for me. It had a great citrus scent with that balsam, and it was just perfect for the end of December and all throughout January. And I used it up pretty quickly. I do feel like the foaming hand soaps take me a little longer to use up normally, but I think I kept going to this specific bathroom because I enjoyed this scent so much. So I hope they bring something like this back next year because I really enjoyed it. And the next sort of non-fragrance item I'll show you is I did finish up a hand cream in Winter Candy Apple. And I really like Bath & Body Works hand creams. I know they're $5. Some people kind of balk at that price for 2 ounces of hand cream. But if you shop at other places like L'Occitane, their hand cream is much more expensive. And I like this size so I can have them everywhere. I have them in my purse. I have them in my office, beside my bed, beside every single hand soap, in every bathroom, just because, especially this time of year, my hands are so dry. So I really did enjoy their hand creams, and several of these are very much close to being finished, so I'm going to have to pick up some new spring scents soon. Alright, let me show you the wallflowers that I used. Hot cocoa and cream, a snowflakes and citrus, and a lemon mint tea. I didn't have as many wallflowers. For some reason, the ones that I had in, I think I ended up putting some in sort of at the end of December, and so those have pretty much lasted. So some of the bulbs they're not ready to be replaced yet. I did also just put in a couple of days ago a renew and refresh. I just don't have the tag for that because it came in a double box and I threw that box away a long time ago. I'm looking forward to changing out my wallflower plug soon and kind of getting all the wintry ones put away and start transitioning to spring wallflower plugs and spring scents. Okie dokie, let's get going with, let me show you the wax melts that I used this month. So the first one is Kringle's Peppermint Cocoa. And I love the label on Kringle's products. This one had about a medium throw, about a 6.5. It did fill my office. I had heard this one was pretty strong. For me, it was just a medium throw. I melted this around the same time that I had like hot cocoa and cream and twisted peppermint going, so it was a really nice complementary scent to melt along with those. I might repurchase this one. I'm kind of iffy about it. It just sort of depends. I don't feel strongly that I wouldn't purchase it again, but I don't feel strongly that, oh yeah, this is definitely one I had to pick up. But if there was a good sale, I might pick it up next year. The next one is Kringle's Baker's Vanilla, and this one unfortunately was practically unscented to me personally. I would say it would be a 1, or 0. I could really only smell it if I stood right over the melter or the warmer. I just didn't get anything from it. Even just sniffing it in its package, it just didn't have much of a scent, so I would not repurchase this one. The next one is Kringle's Vanilla Cone. As you can see, I was sort of searching for a good vanilla scent at the beginning of January. This one was about a 2. It was better than the Baker's Vanilla, but it still wasn't very strong. And I know that vanilla scents in general aren't strong, but I really liked the way this one smelled on cold. You got that like bit of a bakery with the vanilla, so I really liked it, but it just didn't have much of a throw. So I probably wouldn't buy this one again either. Then, also in my sort of vanilla mood that I was in, I melted Better Homes and Gardens Vanilla Cookie Crunch in the clamshell. And this comes with 6 cubes. This one I had very low expectations for. I had never picked it up. I don't think I've ever really melted Better Homes and Gardens wax cubes before. If I have, I just don't remember. I typically stick to Scentsy. But this one wowed me. This one was really strong. It was about an 8.5 throw. It left the room that I had it in and went in the hallway, and it was pretty amazing. I definitely would buy this one again. It was just a really lovely cookie, vanilla, and it had like a hint of a spice. It was really, really nice, and I recommend this one. And then I melted a Yankee Candle Centerpiece Crunchy Pistachio Vanilla Easy Melt Cup. Now, I don't have a centerpiece, so what I did is I just took a butter knife and I just sort of made 4 squares in this, and then just put each section into my melter. This is a nice scent. I think I had really high expectations for this scent because so many people just raved about it. And for me, it was butterfingers today. For me, it was okay. I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it by any means. It definitely is a nice pistachio. You kind of get like that vanilla instant pudding, not vanilla, the Jell-O instant pudding, like the green pistachio pudding mix. That's sort of what I got from it, with like a little bit of a salty note and the vanilla note. So it was nice. Just, not my favorite. So it did have a pretty good throw, though. It was about an 8, and that was just, again, me using sort of just a 1/4 of this in a normal Scentsy warmer. So that was pretty impressive. I have a couple of these that I had picked up during the semi-annual sale, and that's enough for me. If this came out next year, I might pick it up again. I don't know. It just, like I said, I wasn't in love with it, but it was okay. And then the last wax melt I used was Kringle's Winter Apple. I love the packaging. And this one had a much better throw than the other melts that I tried. This one was about a 6.5. It filled my office and it went into the hallway. And this scent, it's just such like a honey crisp kind of apple smell. But it also, you get that winter note. This is sort of like a pine, maybe some kind of wood note. But I really, really enjoyed this scent, and I definitely would repurchase this one. All right, so let's get going on the candles. I started the month by burning Peach Bellini. This is one that I really like to burn, I think New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. It just is sort of a tradition that I burn this. The notes are succulent white peach, sparkling prosecco, and sweet orange. This is really just mostly peach, but you also get that effervescence note, which I really like. So it really does kind of remind you of a peach Bellini, something kind of sparkly and just festive. The throw was about a 7.5. The burn was pretty good. I didn't have any issues for the most part. However, at the end of the candle, I did get kind of small wicks. But it did keep burning, didn't put itself out, and it wasn't really truly like completely puny wicks because it still kept itself going. It just, the burn from here down was really slow going because of the fact that the wicks were a lot smaller. But it did continue to burn all the way down. It burned itself out, and it did maintain the scent all the way through the life of the candle. So even when it was down here and it was, bordering on puny wicks, then, you could still smell it, so that was good. I definitely would repurchase this again next year. This is a sort of a staple. Bath & Body Works brings it out every year. I just normally pick up one and burn it around New Year's. The next candle I burned near the beginning of January was Sweater Weather. I love the packaging, and the purple wax is so pretty. It burned itself out. I did an individual candle review of this scent and this particular candle, so if you haven't checked that out, please do so, but I won't go into detail in this video just because I did an individual review of this candle. I really enjoy this one. Definitely a staple that I always pick up at least one every winter. I burned another hot cocoa and cream. This is in the frosted glass. This is a fast burner. As you can see, there's some soot here. This is a candle that I love the scent. I've burned this before. You've probably seen it in the other Empties videos that I've done. This is just such a fast burner. The mushroom tops are huge. So I did get some sooting, as you can see, but not horrible. And this was probably my fault because I probably wasn't paying as close attention to it as I could. The throw on this one's about a 7. This is an awesome, awesome scent. A lot of people have talked about this one. I believe that you can still pick this one up in the white glass with the brown wax. I have still seen some of those at my local stores, and I've seen some pictures still floating around on Instagram where some of the stores kind of have it still and they're like 50% off candles from leftover semi-annual sales. So highly recommend this one. This was really an awesome scent. The next one I have is Twisted Peppermint, and I actually burned this at the same time I was burning the hot cocoa and cream, and it really was a lovely combination. I had posted a picture on my Instagram where they were both burning at the same time. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it is Southern Comfort 1. So the same way that I spell my name for my YouTube channel, but just add a 1. Twisted Peppermint is cool peppermint, sugared snow, vanilla buttercream, fresh balsam, and a hint of musk. There was some sooting on this candle as well, as you can see here, but not too bad. Overall, it was a good burn, no puny wicks. It burned itself out, and as you can see, it went really far. The throw was about a 7, and this is just a staple for me. I pick one, if not more than one, up every year and just really enjoy burning this in not only just this like January, but I would even burn it again now, especially as we're still in really cold weather. I just really enjoy this scent, and it was really nice burning it alongside hot cocoa and cream. The next one I burned was Sweet Cherry Pie. I did do an individual candle review of this one, so check that out if you haven't. I absolutely love this scent, as I mentioned in my video. Flawless burn. I mean, it was just so clean. The notes are bright red cherries, flaky pie crust, and crushed almonds. So check out my individual candle review. I would definitely repurchase this one. The next one I burned in January was Tomato Vine. Love this packaging. Sun-kissed tomato leaves, fresh spring greens, and a hint of lemon. I also did an individual candle review, so check that out if you want to see the details. Just such a wonderful late summer, early spring scent. I finished a Yankee Candle Bubbly Pomegranate. This lid. This one was quite sooty, as you can see. There is a lot of soot like down here and just all around the rim. It's just quite a sooty candle. I really like the scent. I was burning this one close and around the same time as the sweet cherry pie and was kind of having like this sort of cherry thing going on there for a while. So that was a really nice addition to this. It says pomegranate, but to me it comes across as just like a fruity, festive kind of cherry pomegranate. With a little bit of an effervescent note. It's very kind of just sweet. So I like the scent. It was just so sooty, and I really had to keep my eye on it and keep these wicks trimmed really low. Even when it was burning it, you could just see the little puffs of soot, and I cannot tolerate that. So I felt like I was consistently having to put it out and then trim the wicks and then relight it, and it was a lot of work to kind of get through this candle. The throw was about a 4.5, 5. It did semi sort of fill up my master bedroom, but not really fully. So it wasn't an incredibly wonderful thrower. I don't know if I would purchase this again. I think I would purchase the scent again in maybe like a milk cup, but I don't necessarily think I'd pick up the candle again. The other Yankee candle that I finished this month was Yankee Candle's Pure Radiance in Cherry Gin Fizz. This again was another cherry scent that I was burning alongside the sweet cherry pie and the bubbly pomegranate. So it was really nice having all of those together. As you can see though, this is extremely sooty. And you're probably like, where's the wick? Well, these are the wood wicks, and it did burn almost all the way down. But at the very end, because I thought about repurposing this vase, I had poured out the rest of the wax. So the wax here on the side is not the candle's fault. It's my fault because I did pour out the hot wax. I'm not going to end up repurposing this vase because it is just so sooty. Now, some of the sooting is a little bit my fault because as it got farther down here, I think I left it burning a little longer than I should have. And so some of it's my fault, but not all of it. And I'm actually kind of surprised because I've burned the Pure Radiance before and didn't have this issue. So I don't know if this was an off candle or if this was some type of user error. I don't want to, say that it wasn't my fault completely. As far as the throw, I would say this is about a 3. I really could only smell it when I was right up on the candle. I had put it in my office, which, is a sort of smaller bedroom size room, and it didn't fill that space. I really couldn't smell it unless I was right on it, but sometimes I could get whiffs of it in the office, so that's why I'm giving it a 3, which is rather generous, honestly. I would not repurchase this particular scent. I also finished a Snowflakes and Citrus. And I lit this on the day that it snowed here in North Carolina, and I actually opened my front door and set up a picture with the snow in the background, and it was just really fun to do that. And again, that's pictures on my Instagram, but I love the blue frosted glass. Such a fan of that. The notes are frozen lemon peel, fresh squeezed tangerine, winter white mango, and sugared snow crystals. I really like this scent. This is a repackage of Midnight Blue Citrus, so if you did not get to pick this up in the winter, then you can definitely still get the scent because they're bringing this back out. This isn't necessarily a winter scent. To me, this is a scent that you can use any time of year. It felt very appropriate for me to burn when it snowed because it does have that nice citrus, and it was just kind of fresh and bright, and it really was nice along with the really cold winter days. It had a good burn, really no issues with the burn, no puny wicks. There was a tiny bit of sooting, smoky wax at the end, but otherwise there was really no issue. There is quite a bit of wax left compared to some of the other candles that you've seen. And the sloshing here at the bottom, that's not the candle's fault. When I moved this from its space before it was completely re-solidified after it burned out, so that's why it kind of looks wonky there, but that wasn't the fault of the candle. I really like this. I definitely would repurchase it. I would repurchase it as Snowflakes and Citrus. I would repurchase it as Midnight Blue Citrus. I just like the scent. I think it's fresh and nice, and I enjoyed it. I also finished Honey Tangerine. This is the Spring 2017 candle. sugared honeycomb, golden tangerine, and warm tonka bean. And again, this one's pretty cleaned out already. I just, while that last bit of wax was still melted, I dumped it out, popped the wicks out. I also have an individual candle review of this one on my channel, so check it out if you haven't already. I did like this scent. I finished a Kringle, a large jar Kringle. Let's see, in the cashmere and cocoa. The notes are roasted marshmallow, cocoa, vanilla, smoked woods, musk, and patchouli. So this is actually my first Kringle large jar that I've finished. This one did have a little bit of sooting. It looks pretty clean here now because I did kind of clean it out. I'm going to try to repurpose this jar. And again, there's nothing left at the bottom because at the very last bit, I did pour the hot wax out and remove the wicks. Just it makes it easier for me to clean things out when I do it that way instead of letting it re-solidify. The throw was about a 4.5, 5. I had it in my bedroom, and sometimes I felt like it filled that space. It was a lighter scent, but it did fill the space. And other times I felt like I couldn't smell it as much. So it sort of, it varied throughout the life of the candle. Sometimes it felt it was stronger or had a better throw than others. And I'm assuming that's just maybe the distribution of the oils. I did feel like I had to keep my eye on this one. These do have 2 wicks, by the way, because if the wax got too long, it would kind of start sooting like little puffs of soot, sort of similar to the bubbly pomegranate. So I did keep my eye on this one, basically, is what I'm saying. At some point around the halfway mark, the wax did get a little like yellow and just kind of really gross, to be honest with you. It was about this much. So what I did is I burned it, I let it pull out completely, and it did pull out pretty quickly, so that was nice. And then I just dumped out that bad wax, just sort of a different way. I mean, this could be called cotton balling. I could have stuck cotton balls. For me, it's just easier to dump out the wax. And so I did that, and once that little layer of like bad wax was gone, I trimmed the wicks, relit it, and the original scent came back, so that was good. And I didn't have to do that again throughout the life of the candle. So I don't know exactly what happened, but you know, that was just something that I had to do. I do like the scent. It does remind me of Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fireside. So because it does remind me of that scent, I probably wouldn't repurchase this again, just because if I want to burn Marshmallow Fireside, I'll pick up Marshmallow Fireside. But I probably would pick up the melts in this because I do think this complements that scent really nicely. But I don't necessarily think I'd pick up another candle. But I do love this label. I mean, how beautiful is that? I just love the matte finish on their labels. I just think it's so classy. But overall, this was a pretty good scent. I also finished a berry vanilla bean. I love this purple wax. So pretty. Winter berries, ruby red pomegranate, lush vanilla bean, and twist of mandarin. I'm so glad that I burned this scent when I did. I had purchased this back in, November, whenever the winter candles came out, if not sooner than that. It was part of my haul. I had kind of gone back and forth about burning it, and I was like, oh no, it kind of smells so sweet. So I finally said, you know what the heck, let me just go ahead and burn it. And I'm so glad I did, because this scent was just awesome. I really enjoyed it. I really do feel like they could have named this berry cookie. To me, I got almost a very distinct kind of Mary cookie note. That sort of shortbread vanilla note was really prominent, but then you also got like that berry note. So really enjoyed it. It was a really great clean burn. And the throw was great. This was about an 8.5 for me. It filled up my entire kitchen and living room space. It was really nice. And so the reason why I'm so glad I went ahead and burned it in January was because this was the only one I had. So I was actually able to call around to one of my local stores, and they actually had a couple of still on their 50% off semi-annual tables. So I was able to grab a couple of more of these just in case they don't bring this scent back again. So really happy that I burned it for that reason. And I feel like that is one of the things about them releasing the next season's candles so early is sometimes I'm not in the mood to burn a spring scent in February or January. And so if I don't burn it soon enough to see if I actually like it burning, then I might miss a chance to buy more of that same scent. So you're not really a big deal in the grand scheme of life. But anyway, just happy that I was able to pick a couple of more of these up because I really enjoyed this scent. And then I also finished my beloved wine cellar. I love this scent. I love this scent. Add luxurious notes of fragrant red fruit, rare patchouli, and a touch of saffron to your home wine list. Love this scent. For some reason, I started craving this scent and decided I wanted to burn it. And it was just so wonderful. I love it so much. I have proper stocked up on this candle. I don't know, I think I have like 6. They may bring it back out next year, and that's great. But I wanted to make sure that I did not go without it, because for me, this is a scent that I can burn any time of year. I feel like it fits into the winter, to the fall, the spring, the summer. I just love this scent. It's amazing. So if you haven't checked this out and you can get your hands on it, I definitely highly recommend it. It may not be for everyone. It definitely has an earthy note. The patchouli, some people don't like that, and I completely understand. I know they have brought this scent out in past years, and I feel like I did burn it in the Cork and Vine collection, but for some reason this year's has just stuck with me, and I'm just in love with it. So as I mentioned, I think in my haul of this candle, when I first smelled it on cold, I wasn't really sure about it. It was like a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure about this. But then when I actually burned it, it just came alive, and I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I will stop going on about this candle, but highly, highly recommend. And then I finished off a cinnamon spice vanilla. The notes are the delicious fragrance of rich vanilla beans sprinkled with sugar crystals and freshly ground Mexican cinnamon. This is really essentially just cinnamon sugar donuts. And I had picked a couple of these up for 75% off at the semi-annual sale, so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a burn. This one burned really quickly. And maybe it would just, the time went by so quickly, but I felt like this burned through really quickly. There were really no issues with the burn, as you can see. It was burned itself out. Here, the throw was about a 6. It's not an exceptionally strong scent, but it's enough that you get the point. All right, the next one I finished was Juniper Berry and Pine. And this is this nice, like lavender, light lavender, kind of pink in the right light, ribbed glass. The notes are fresh juniper berry, holiday cranberry, snowcap pine, and peppermint. And this was the dust cover. You can see. This was a faster burner. I feel like all of these that have this thicker ribbed glass, and sometimes even the frosted glass, I think those just kind of conduct the heat a little better, so they burn faster. You know, one of those you kind of had to keep an eye on a little bit. Just had little medium mushroom tops though, so just, nip those off. The throw was about a 6.5, and I didn't have any burn issues. So I did enjoy this scent. It wasn't my favorite. I felt like it was more, I wanted more of a sweetness and more berry and the juniper berry, and it came across a little too much pine for me personally. I did enjoy it. I mean, I might repurchase it next year. If I could catch it on a sale, but it's not one that I would consider a favorite. And then, this is random, but I did also burn another berry pumpkin strudel from the fall line, 2016. Sweet blueberry, baked apple, blackberry, pumpkin spice, and puff pastry. I just went through like a berry phase. The juniper berry and pine kind of started that off, and then I did blueberry and the berry vanilla bean, and so then I was just sort of like wanting berry type scents. And this one actually, in the video that now I no longer have, my top 16 of 16, this was going to be in that video. So there's a hint, this is one that ended up in my video. A couple of these actually did, but when I was smelling it on cold as I was filming the video, I was like, oh, I really like this, I want to burn it. So I did. And I love the scent. It did get puny wicks around the 3rd mark, unfortunately. But even though it had puny wicks and it was like a really slow burn, from here down, I still could smell it. It still had good throw, so no issues there. But, I just like the scent so much that I'm willing to sort of overlook some of those, burn issues to have this scent. So I have a couple of more of these in my collection for next year, or apparently just anytime I want to burn it. I also finished Kringle's Blueberry Muffin. Love this packaging. The notes are blueberry, blackcurrant, buttercream, brown sugar, vanilla, and lemon zest. And I just adore this scent. On cold sniff, it smells like Oops All Berry cereal or like Trick cereal, but then when it's burning, that muffin note, the bakery note really comes alive, and I feel like you'll get whiffs of that blueberry, but then you'll get whiffs of the muffin. It's just a really, really lovely scent, and it's not a scent that I've smelled anywhere else this authentic. So as you can see, it did burn kind of funny at the end. It burned really clean, and then I don't know what happened here at the end. I definitely would repurchase this scent. I actually already have another one of this particular size. The throw was about a 5.5. It did fill my office, which was great. It wasn't a strong thrower. I definitely wish this would have been stronger. This is a scent that I would have loved to have in my kitchen and really be able to fill that kitchen and living room space, but it's just not strong enough. So I also have this in the wax melts, and I just love this scent. This actually was another one that ended up in my top 16. So highly recommend this one if you haven't checked this one out. They also sell it in the Country Candle brand. So it's sort of like that Yankee candle, large jar look to it. And it's blue wax. But I've heard that those are actually stronger than the Kringle candles. So if you're interested in the scent, you might want to check it out in Country Candle. And in fact, if there is another good sale, I probably would pick it up in the Country Candle line just to see if there was a stronger throw. So I really love this scent. And the absolute last candle in this very long video is Iced Vanilla Woods. The notes are sweet vanilla, ebony woods, and iced lavender. Now, I don't actually have the insert, and actually, there's a little bit of a story because I gave this candle to my son as a gift, and I wanted to repurpose this rib jar, so he brought it back to me. But when he brought it back to me, it wasn't completely burned all the way down. It had like, this much wax, so it was at least a good day's burn, 8 hours of burn left. And I said, you can take it back home, and he said, no, go ahead and just keep it. So I did, and I finished burning it. This is not a scent for me personally. The woods, the ebony woods notes, just gives me a headache. Some of those woods notes that border on like a cologne type scent tend to give me a headache. I love it on cold. I love lavender. I feel like if there was more lavender and vanilla and that woods note was dialed down, I think I would really enjoy this a lot more, but it just comes across a little bit too heavy for me personally. But I thought it was nice that he did bring back the glass for me, and as far as I can tell, like, he had a clean burn. All right, that is it. That is my January 2017 Empties video. I went through a lot this month. Not exactly sure how I got through all of these this month, but I did. It was a really good burn month for me. I feel like I had a lot of candles that I really, really enjoyed. A couple of, ones that weren't my favorites, but overall I just felt like I had more winners. So happy about that. If you have any questions about any of the candles that I've mentioned or want more details, please let me know. I'm happy to answer your question as always. Leave your comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I feel like February is going to fly by, and I'm going to be doing this again in a couple weeks for February. Thank you all so much for watching and for your continued support. I really have appreciated it, and just I don't know, it's just been an amazing ride so far. So thank you so much for your support, your likes, your comments. It's been great getting to meet you all and chat with a lot of you. And thank you. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.